Everyone loves zombies, right? Or how about monsters? Or maybe robots? Zombies, Monsters, and Robots is a game that's trying way too hard to appeal to the masses. It goes for quantity rather than quality, and that's a major problem in a market flooded with shooters and PvE experiences. It heavily borrows from some of the old powerhouses in the market, Call of Duty, Gears of War, and etc. But here's the thing, at no point does it focus on being strong in any one area, and that's where its downfall lies. The one strength that ZMR has on the surface is variety. There's variety all over the place. In particular, let's focus on the mission types. Your mission types will vary from killing waves of enemies that spawn in to killing enemies while using traps and barricades to hold them out, like Black Ops Zombies, to assault-based missions to complete objectives. You may have to collect dinosaur eggs or run to a chopper. While doing this, you'll be facing a variety of enemy monsters that will vary from mummies to zombies to dinosaurs. While the AI is relatively the same, at first glance this does seem to give a variety to the game, as you'll be facing different monsters that seemingly are different at a first glance. Except when you take the skin off, the AI is relatively the same. Granted, in my first hours of gameplay I found the dinosaurs a lot tougher than anything else, as they seem to be able to take a lot more hits than anyone else. The controls are usable, but there were times where it seemed the controls wouldn't respond. There were some strange occurrences as well, such as auto-locking onto a teammate of all people. It's average at best, and nothing to praise the game for. You find yourself naming off all the elements that were borrowed from other games. Active reload bar? Check. Repair barriers? Check. And nothing too exhilarating about these elements here. They all are cookie cutter basic. And while again it gives variety, it doesn't stand out in any one way. In fact, it's usually implemented a lot worse. At times it seemed I'd hit the active reload bar just right, and it still jammed my gun. I wish I could write that off for it being once or twice, but it happened to me several times during my playthrough and got me frustrated. The game's challenge is lackluster. When a player can go AFK for the entire round and not die, there's a problem. And that's without extraordinary efforts. The mode really determines the difficulty, and that's a little bit of a problem. Graphically, the game is unimpressive. There were bad rendering in the pseudo cutscenes that would occur, and this game felt like it should have come out years ago. What's worse though is the animations. The animations here are bad. Player character models don't look natural, and at times did the strangest things. In particular, a weird head movement when aiming down the barrel of the gun would occur that just took you out of the experience right then and there if you saw it. This game may be free to play, but it doesn't excuse for the poor quality when there are other games such as Loadout that were able to do it perfectly fine. The game, in my opinion, is boring, and I mean really boring. Like I said, there's variety here, and I think it's the game's biggest problem. They tried too hard to appeal to a massive audience that it watered down the experience of all the modes themselves, because they failed to understand what made each of those modes work at the core for their respective games. Combine that with the bland shooting, and it's a recipe for disaster. For example, let's take the zombies-like mode that was taken from the Call of Duty franchise. The basis is here, there are guns you can purchase for points gotten, there's barricades that you can repair for the zombie hordes that try to break through them, and waves of enemies until the map ends. But here's the thing, one of the things that made zombies work was progression. The game getting harder and harder as the waves go on, as you earn more and more points, upgrading yourself over and over again to deal with a threat. But here, there is no ramp up. Wave 1 for me felt like Wave 10, and the thing is you spawn with your normal loadout, which means you start with your favorite or preferred weaponry. There's no real reason to buy the guns, when you can just purchase ammo packs lying around. And with no ramp up in difficulty it seems, it just becomes boring rather quickly. There are stronger zombies that spawn, but they go down relatively easy, and there really wasn't a challenge here even at higher difficulties. Well, what about the Horde-like mode, with traps littered about and stopping enemies getting through the end, stopping X number of monsters that can't get through, or you lose? It's better than the zombies-like mode, but it has problems in itself. Traps can be purchased, but they should be a last resort type of situation, and again, it's way too easy to purchase them. The hordes themselves only were a danger when you just didn't notice the radar and got overrun, and even then you could come back rather easy. Where's the challenge? Where's the fun? I admit, I want challenge in my games, but even beyond that, I want it to be a good experience, and it's just not here. You see, that's what I kept on coming back to. Where's the fun? I just came out of Loadout, which gave a challenge. It was generally fun to use the weapons and to fight the enemy. This game doesn't compare at all. There's no oomph. Enemies die with basic ragdoll physics. There's no emphasis behind your bullets. You just feel like you're wasting your time. The PvP portion isn't any better. How long have PvP shooters existed? How can we still get basic things wrong as spawn point? If I'm spawning right into a middle of a firefight, why? I mean, I'm immediately being shot at. How have we not gotten this right after so much time? Yeah, great, there's spawn protection luckily, but that's not fair for the enemy team either. If you've played Gears of War, then this multiplayer is just like that. Granted, it's free, but it will make you yearn for playing Gears of War multiplayer. This isn't polished. It seemingly got hit detection problems at times. I don't know if this is a netcode thing, honestly. And again, where's the oomph? Where's the earth-shattering kaboom? Why should I continue to play this? It's boring. Which leads me right into my next point. Let's talk about the free-to-play aspect of this game. You get basic guns and equipments at the start, and you can buy things with in-game currency of coins and etc. But they brought a unique spin to it. You see, to buy a shotgun for say, you can buy one at 3, 7, 30, or permanent intervals. And of course the price goes up vastly for the options in question. And the rewards you get, based on my early experience, may get you the price of a 3-day item in 5 to 10 missions, if you're lucky. You have objectives to complete to try to help that out, but once you're out, it becomes harder. It smells of pay to play if you really want to make progress. It's great that it's free to play, but feels like there's an attempt to exploit early on. Also, why have 3 different currencies in the game? There's rep, not exactly sure how you get that, there's coins, and then there's EMP. EMP also seems to be the only one that can be bought, but honestly, why make it so complicated? Why have 3 different currencies? It doesn't help when looking at some of the items that you can purchase, like that hostile takeover pack, it just doesn't seem like you're getting your bang for your buck there. When it comes down to it, there's just nothing that highlights ZMR for me. Nothing is truly unique enough to draw me into the game. It's a boring shooter, and if you're looking for one, there's much better free-to-play experiences that do it much better. Tribes, Loadout, Team Fortress 2. There's a variety of flavor here in the market that works well and is a lot funner than this game. The game drew me in with its title and concept, but it falls flat on almost every level. Do yourself a favor, don't bother playing this. There's better uses of your time than this game. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have a chance, leave some feedback and comments below. If you liked the video, hit that like button. And if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button. This is Dragonix signing off, hoping that gaming brings as much fun to you as it does for me.